So excited for this next segment. I've been so excited since I found out you were coming on. Challenge TN. Now, I love you, bro, but I've been wanting to see you get taken down from the very beginning of this show.
That's fair enough, man.
And I think that you're going to give him the fight of his life here. So grab a controller.
Okay.
There's one here. Here's one for you, T.
Ooh.
And it is time for Challenge TN. So we're going to fire up the old console. We've got the game ready to roll. So pick your teams and let's get this show on the road. Have you been practicing, T?
We're going to swap.
Yeah. Have I been practicing? I mean, I've only played this game every other day. So yeah, I'd like to think so.
Just double checking my settings.
Oh, there we go.
You've not been putting in the extra hours for Onset, no?
No, not really. You know, just don't do anything out of the ordinary. Just take the game as it comes.
Now, Onset, I know that you're a former professional Halo player.
Yeah, I used to complete quite a few years ago now, I will say, but the competitive drive never leaves you. So any game that I play, it's taken very seriously, sometimes too seriously.
Is it going to frustrate you that I'm going to be sitting here asking you questions and trying to put you off? Can you multitask?
100%. I'm more frustrated that TN's chosen Arsenal because he knows every time, if I do have a chance to score, it's going to go through my mind of what I'm doing.
So
his mental game's
already
going
in
on
there
here already, which means that I'm going to go with the best team in the game, just to try and balance it out a little bit. Where are you, PSG?
He's going for PSG.
He's going for Mbappe, Neymar, Messi.
You're not scared of that?
I am, not going to lie. It's the closest thing to Ultimate Team, so it's worrying.
He threw some shade at my golden Mbappe, so we'll see how that goes down.
All right, so you've already been you've seen him putting in the prep. You know what? You've gone up against some big players. You've gone up against professional players.
Yep.
You've gone up against who was it? Who were you up against last week?
Nicholas.
Yes, Nicholas. And you drew with Nicholas.
I've heard, yeah.
He drew with him. Champions League winner.
It's a concern, I won't lie. That's very, very impressive. I mean, Nicholas is an unbelievable player.
Yeah,
I mean,
he really
anyone
is.
who has watched him play would say the same.
What do you make of the professional scene? What do you think the gulf is between someone like yourself and someone who competes at the top level?
It's honestly, it's a chasm. People don't realise until you get in a game with them, especially when they're playing with their team that they're comfortable with, like how good they are. And it's their ability to just be so patient and then just pick a moment. It's like you get lured into a full sense of security and then it's like, oh, I'm 1-0 down.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm 2-0 down. Oh, how do I get back into this game? So it's certainly impressive and it's very tough to go up against them and feel like you're going to have a genuinely good game.
All right, well, we are edging close. I can see all the graphics going into
the whole shebang.
All right.
The whole shebang.
I'm just resting.
You do look, I can tell when your demeanour has changed and you're super chill TN right now.
I'm relaxed right now, man. When we get in the game, might be a little bit different.
And we're playing at the Emirates as well.
Is there anything you want to say to get in his head before we kick off?
No. You know what? You're an Arsenal fan, TN. I can't go too hard on you.
You can't be friends, come on. All right, the only thing this is lacking is Onset commentating on this game. That would have been a beautiful thing. But speaking of your name, Onset, where did that come from?
It was literally picked out of nowhere, to be honest with you. I just wanted something that sounded... there was a player who used to play in Europe at the time on Halo called Elilek Reaction.
Oh my word! He's kicked off with a bang. And T, you good? You're sitting forward.
Yeah, man. I didn't know he had it like that. That's fair.
Okay, how many minutes are we in?
So
4th minute. Sorry, back to where you were.
There was a player in Europe who was one of the best players called Reaction. I liked how short and snappy his name sounded. So I just went with Onset. I thought it sounded kind of cool. And from there, that was really it.
I like it. It's funny because me and T, we're big Migos fans and we like Offset.
Yeah, trust me. I see it in Twitch chat all the time whenever I'm concentrating. My favourite thing to say is he's my brother. And people are like, really? I'm like, no, not really. Hakim? All
right, so there's 2 Arsenal fans. I'm going to do some quick rapid fire questions. Greatest Arsenal manager of all time. That's obvious, right? Oh, not again, T. What's going on?
I can't compete. He's got PSG.
Wait a minute. We've got a cameraman. He's a legend. He's called Junior, actually. He's just standing right there. Junior, can you bring the gimbal cam really close to TN? Is it settings?
I've got different settings on.
I knew it.
This isn't me. That's not me. That's not me.
All right. Let me just make something really clear here, right? You play with Pro Evo settings.
Like old school alternate settings, yeah.
How do I change it? I don't even know.
Is he switched your
I think
buttons?
so.
I shouldn't have. If you go to...
It's a fix.
It's not a fix. I will play whatever set. There you go.
There
Classic.
you go, classic.
Okay,
Right.
well, we can go from 0-0 if you want.
I don't mind. Honestly.
Okay.
You can play on.
Oh, you
It's
think
all
you
good.
could bring it back?
I hope so.
Yeah, so best Arsenal manager of all time.
Arsene Wenger. Arsene Wenger, without a doubt.
Arsene Wenger.
Some people would
It's not
say
even close.
George Graham transformed the club a little bit, but Wenger's not. It's not, as you say, it's not even close.
Greatest Arsenal striker of all time.
Thierry Henry.
Thierry Henry. It's
Defender.
Tony Adams.
Tony Adams. Got to be.
Although I will say, close second, Ashley Cole.
You think so?
Yeah. If you're looking at pure, in the position, one of the best ever. That's a great. Oh, he's done me.
We're starting to see here, you are actually starting to flow a little bit, T, so maybe
Yeah,
it was the buttons.
The buttons got me off.
So I'm fascinated by anybody in your profession on set that can switch gears when it comes to, dropping in and out of multiple video games.
Yeah.
Because to be a commentator, caster, whatever you want to call it, in esports, it requires so much, knowledge, dedication. You've got to be on the ball. You've got to have your finger on the pulse at all times.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you can quite quickly get exposed, right?
Yeah, 100%.
How do you manage to navigate between multiple platforms?
It's about balancing your time. A lot of it's about, it's the classic thing, right? Dedication. You've got to watch everything. I almost become like, it's one of my personality traits. When I really want to do something, I become almost obsessive about it. So I'm watching everything, scrims. I'm watching, analysts talk about it, coaches of teams. I'm watching their scrims, and it's all about finding and representing, the core of the game and what the players and the hardcore community wants to hear. That's the important thing for me to find out and kind of relay.
T, what's happening?
Chilling, man.
You've still got plenty of time. We're 30 minutes in.
I just can't compete with Messi. It's hard. It's always going to be difficult.
He's washed now. He's old. He's just won the World Cup.
So let's talk about lockdown back in the day. I think within esports, it didn't really put too much of a halt on, output and being part of events because you could do a lot of it remotely, right?
Yep.
So you were still able to work, is that correct?
Yeah, so interesting story. I actually, took the big jump and took the risk of going freelance. I think it was about 3 weeks before the lockdown happened. Mm-hmm. I had every single piece of work for the year cancelled after that. So I sat there having just gone freelance going...
So you just made the jump?
You literally made the jump, and I was like, all of my work has been cancelled.
Wow.
And to go freelance is a big risk, right? Because you're never sure what's around the corner. You never think it's going to be a pandemic, but it's... and then luckily, obviously everything moved online. It's the great thing about esports, and we managed to get through it. But it was a very scary moment or two. Starboy.
Oh.
Okay, well, fine.
But you also, added to your workload, but in a creative way, by being part of a band, right?
Yeah.
You were putting music out.
Yeah. That was a really fun thing to do, and something we're still doing.
It's really cool, isn't it? I think that one of the things about that period of time is it pushed creative boundaries, and you were looking for ways to fill your time, because you weren't really necessarily able to do much else.
Yeah.
But, so it was the birth of something quite unique for you then.
Yeah, it was also a real good opportunity to finally, when you've got those things that you want to do and you never find the time to do it.
Yeah.
All of a sudden we were all sitting around because, the people that I play music with, we've all been friends for so long. One of them's drum tech for Clean Bandit. He's always on tour. And it was just like, we've actually got some time here. We can do something cool with this and finally do what we've always talked about. When you're in the pub and you're like, let's 100% do this. So it was pretty fun. Yeah, and it's been a good creative release, especially during lockdown. I don't know what I've done.
Oh, sick. Well, we actually do have a clip. We'll show that a little bit later on after this game because I want to see you guys in action, or hear you guys in action as well.
Yeah.
T, you've got 45 minutes.
I'm nervous, by the way. He's starting to cook. He is starting to cook.
He's moving this round nicely as T
cooking.
pushes forward. Oh, it's good defending. It's good. Can he whip this in? He's not going to. What's the standard like, T?
It's good. It's really, really good. He's a lot better than I expected.
When you first got involved with competitive esports,
Yes.
and you know, there are so many different stories because it's evolved so much over the years, and you and I were a little bit older.
Just a couple of years.
Just a tiny bit.
Yep.
I'd say in our prime.
Experienced.
Personally. Yeah, we're experienced. Back when you first started out and you were looking to maybe compete a little bit, what was the process like? Was it a case of packing up your console, your PC, whatever it was, and traveling somewhere and trying to get involved competitively? How did it work for you?
It was literally that. The first ever LAN event I went to, it was Stoke LAN. It was called, and I mean, with all due respect to Stoke and the people watching.
The hub of esports.
Exactly. It's not exactly known as the hub of esports. And it was take your Xbox, take your console, or I've given it away, and go and set up and go and play. But it was for the love of it. And there was no prize money. It wasn't about that. I remember one of the first events I played at, I think first place was £1,000 divided by everyone. And I think you got an Xbox controller charger as well.
Oh, nice.
First place, so.
Hey, they were essential back in there.
Exactly. I mean, a joke, but yeah, it was actually pretty important.
Where would, out of everything you've done in gaming so far, how would beating TN rank in there?
It's got to be up there because it's live.
So
no
one's ever done it before, you know. What's the biggest prize pool that you've been part of when it comes to a broadcast? Do you remember?
LGS Championships was $2.5 million, I think.
Oh,
what a save, by the way. Yeah, $2.5 million prize pool, which is crazy. First Halo World Championships I ever did as well was $2.5 million. It still seems very peculiar to sit there and say those numbers.
It's crazy, isn't it? Do you know Nas at Guild? Have you heard about what happened with the Nas, the Fortnite player?
No.
He took part in a Mr. Beast Fortnite tournament, and he won $1 million.
It's not bad, is it?
It's crazy.
It's not bad.
It doesn't ever get old, does it? When you see some of the numbers been thrown around for what players can win, it's crazy, isn't it?
Yeah, it's to this day, especially when you have the matches for. Like the difference between winning a grand final and coming second, even though everyone's getting like an insane amount of money, it's like this is a $500,000 match or whatever it might be.
How do you deal with that at such a young age? You know, because these players, they're so young, right?
Yeah.
And they retire so early as well. Mm-hmm. How do you think they cope with that level of mindset of like, you know, this is a $500,000 game?
I don't think it depends, doesn't it? It depends what influence money has in your life at that point. Yeah. If you're young enough to not really understand how important money is, I think you're probably going to deal with the pressure a little bit better. Whereas if, you know, you're a little bit older and you realize what that can do for you, it could be different. But I also think...
I don't think I could handle it.
I certainly would feel the pressure. 100% would feel the pressure.
Yeah, do you know what? Our producers just had a wonderful idea in my ear, right? Will you commentate while you play the last 2 minutes?
Depending on if TN's on the attack or not, yeah, sure. Okay, all right. TN, you're going to be my colour commentator here. You got to fill in the analysis, all right?
All right, go for it.
Okay, all right. Lionel Messi, we'll turn inside, drag back. It's beautiful stuff. TN looking a little bit lost in midfield here. He's kind of chasing shadows at this point. Nice little driven pass. Neymar with the scoop turn. Little step over. Oh, he's gone for the McGeady cancel, but there's Granit Xhaka in the middle.
Granit Xhaka is very capable of that, as you see. He's trying to play with Kyle Saka in there, but it's just intercepted. All moving very, very quickly. It's a very end-to-end game there. Gabriel with the interception.
Oh, Messi's picked it up here.
Oh, that's a free kick.
Very soft from the referee. Very soft from the referee. To say, don't want to get fined, but that is game. TN, well played, mate.
Congrats, mate.
I feel slightly guilty because the settings were wrong when he got the 2 goals.
I'm going to call that a draw still, personally.
I've got to object. I think it was a 2-0 win still.
Right. Well, one thing's for sure. I think you've just found your new casting duo. That was a beautiful. Can we give these two a round of applause, please? Now, I just quickly want to say, conquer every single enemy, even at soaring speeds, unrivaled 4K, 144 Hz, gaming TV refresh rates, eliminate lag with ultra smooth action, all in exquisite ultra high definition detail on the big screen. Samsung's best-in-class Neo QLED 4K gaming TV and HDMI 2.1 work in perfect synergy with next-gen consoles and deliver ultra-low input lag, and ultra-responsive gameplay. Isn't that right, T?
Yes, sir.
Take a look at this.